Kamonohashi Ron no Kinda Suiri is the Japanese title. Ron Kamonahashi's Forbidden Deductions is the English title, or the English title of Ron Kamonohashi Deranged Detective, because I have seen both titles. They are both the English title. But this anime's plot is a private investigator and a pure-hearted but dim police detective team up to solve baffling mysteries. This anime is a detective plot storyline. So if you are someone who likes detective plots, if you like Sherlock Holmes, you're going to like this anime. If you don't like detective storylines, if you are not a fan of the Sherlock Holmes storylines, you're not going to like this anime. Episode 1 opens up with an investigation already happening, and one of our characters, Ishiki, is told to go home to sleep. Ishiki got kicked off the investigation because he isn't going to be useful. Ishiki is told by another man at the department that there is someone who can help him, and Ishiki goes to seek out this person named Ron. Ron is a strange character. Ron is basically another version of Sherlock Holmes with all the odd ways he acts. Ron is no longer a detective and wants Ishiki to leave him alone. Ron analyzes Ishiki when they meet on why Ishiki is there, that Ishiki goes to shrines to pray, how Ishiki is feeling, and what Ishiki is currently thinking. Ishiki tries really hard to get Ron to be his partner for the current murder mystery case. Ishiki then gets a phone call, and from this phone call, Ron overhears the details about the case and reveals his character flaw is once he learns about a case, he wants to be a part of it, which is why he currently has no radio nor TV where he lives. Ron tells Ishiki that because of his character flaw, he has cut off communication from everyone, so he will never get obsessed with any case once he learns about it, and he wants to be obsessed with all the cases he learns about. But Ron, overhearing this case, he wants to be a part of it now. So Ron and Ishiki literally run to the crime scene. Once there, Ron does his odd Sherlock Holmes behavior of lying next to a corpse, talking to the corpse, and just analyzing the corpse. Ron instantly knows how every one of the past victims died and what they all have in common just by looking at this one current corpse and seeing that the watch was stolen and that the wallet is also gone. Ron says he also knows who the killer is, and after having Ishiki change outfits, they go to where the murderer is. As Ishiki is left alone with the killer, not knowing that this barbershop man is the killer, Ron lays on the sidewalk because why not? That's what you do when someone's about to die. You just lie on the sidewalk. That's how it be sometimes as a Sherlock Holmes characteristic. After he's done lying on the sidewalk, he decides to walk in right before Ishiki drowns. Ishiki is only phased for like 2 seconds on having been lied to and used by Ron. Ishiki did not know that this barbershop man was the killer. He just thought he was getting a outfit change and a hairstyle change to go meet then the killer. Once Ron enters the barbershop and Ishiki is done being fazed by his behavior, Ishiki and the barber man, they listen to what Ron says about how he figured out the case. The barber man then runs away and he ends up on top of the roof of the building where we learn Ron has the power of absolute obedience like Leonch in Code Geass does. Ron tells the barber man to jump off the building, and once the barber man looks into Ron's eyes, he does. He jumps off the building, but he is saved by Ishiki. Ishiki does freak out a little on Ron just telling him to do that. When Ron sees that Ishiki just saved this man, Ron internally realizes that they can be partners. Like, the case is now resolved, the case is closed, and Ron likes Ishiki because Ishiki can help him with his power. Ron has this absolute obedience power, just like Leonch did, if you've ever seen that anime Code Geass. However, unlike that character, Leonch, Ron only tells his victims to die. He cannot tell them to do anything else other than to kill themselves, where he just told someone to do that, but Ishiki broke that spell. So Ron thinks that Ishiki can help him not kill all of the murderers that he's trying to track down, that Ron now can finally be a private investigator like he really wanted to be, because he's really good at it, but he can be a private investigator now without killing anyone accidentally, because Ron says that he has no control over it. It's once the case is resolved, Ron then just tells the person to die, and they do. So he has a success rate of solving his cases, but his arrest rate is 0 because of that. But he really wants to team up with Ishiki because Ishiki can make sure that everyone is still alive, which Ron really likes. Because as I said, Ron wants to be a private investigator again, because he was banned from being a private investigator because of his power. But basically from episode 1, Ron Kamonohashi Forbidden Detective. This anime is a Sherlock Holmes anime, absolutely. I mean, Ron is going to be Sherlock Holmes with the weird behaviors that he's already been displaying in episode 1. Ishiki is going to be Watson on just being there for his detective, his main investigator, and making sure that they don't go too far over the edge on solving cases, making people feel creeped out, and just making sure that they stay very much sane in the world. So if you do like the Sherlock Holmes plot lines, totally watch this anime. I mean, I'm sure every episode, or maybe every 2 episodes, the case that our characters solve will always change. So that might be really nice, is if you're someone who cannot follow an anime week by week, you can probably miss an episode or 2 and still be able to understand the plot, because so far episode 1 we got a story and the story resolved. And I'm gonna keep watching this anime, not because I'm making a YouTube video about it, because I do like the Sherlock Holmes plot lines, and I really think it's gonna be fun and cool to watch Ron, who's basically Sherlock Holmes, interact with Ishiki, who's Watson, and just see how they go about life. But this anime is definitely going to be a good, silly, serious anime. It's serious because, there's crime scenes, people are dying, so that's very serious topics, but it's going to be silly because Ron acts very oddly, and then Ishiki is going to act oddly because of Ron, so their behavior sometimes will probably be funny. There might be funny moments within the serious moments, but overall, I do think this is going to be a very good anime. So if you like detective plot storylines, go watch this, or give it a try. And if you do watch this anime, if you've seen episode 1, comment below. Let me know what your thoughts were.